All right. Attempting to go live here. Give it a couple minutes, a good minute or two, just in case somebody gets stuck with ads at the beginning. Oh, YouTube. Oh, yeah, different device. If you're here, please like, follow, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Comment. If you're watching this after the fact, please, same things, same rules apply. Uh, Feel free to hit up the chat as well. Which shows nobody in here. That's okay. Just putting this out there, just put it out there. This is about my VA updates, but I do want to say, do a shout out to the Angry Vet and his issues. Want to know more? Follow, go look him up, and or the Veterans Affairs Media or Veteran Nation have all done something regarding the Angry Vet's issues and who to contact and all that fun stuff. But my specific situation is the VA denied me again for a mobility scooter. This time their reasoning was protection from elements and inconsistent charging. Obviously, they don't understand our VEERS very well on the inconsistent charging part. And power mobility scooters, AVA. I just did it. Just caught. I just gave a shout out to you there regarding what you've done for Angry Vet last couple days. but yeah, they denied me for inconsistent charging and protection from elements. Well, protection from elements. Why the heck do they sell every manufacturer? Because I've looked into a lot of them for these mobility scooters. Why, especially the heavy duty ones, which are heavier and bigger, harder to get indoors. Why do they sell a weather cover for them to protect them from the elements? And inconsistent charging, they don't apparently the VA doesn't understand the fact that power mobility scooters operate on batteries, whether they're more like a deep cycle marine RV battery or whether they're more like the lithium ions. Well, depending upon upgrades, all that fun stuff. But those are 12 to 48 volt battery systems. Well, if you can't plug into regular 120 volt AC, you can usually, with the proper solar panel and solar charge controller, use solar to recharge a power mobility scooter. But but they admit, yeah, I told them that I had fallen multiple times, that I have fallen multiple times, so I am a fall risk. They admit that, I do have health issues. They admit all that in their denial because they at least did the paperwork right this time, but they still denied me over weather, protection from elements, and inconsistent charging. Now, when it comes to inconsistent charging, there's so many different things that are wrong with that statement. Besides the solar that I just mentioned. But you take the combination of those two reasons. Well, this is the great state of Texas. Hello, Roy. Uh, yeah, this is the great state of Texas, and Where I'm at is Central Texas here in Austin, which Austin, Houston can still get a lot of issues from hurricanes that come up the Gulf Coast. They've also had a couple of years of ice storms that have taken out power to homes. And then, of course, also being Central Texas here, there's such a thing called tornadoes. So protection from elements slash weather makes no sense. If anything, an RVer is better. A veteran RVer is able to better protect the VA's investment of a power mobility device, for the simple fact being that I'm able to pack up and move locations with my whole home versus someone in a sticks and bricks home basically can have it all turned to rubble in a matter of seconds, depending upon the weather. So, yeah, uh, really fun there. Makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. Uh, but been working with Skipper from Veteran Nation. Have reached out to uh, a senator's office, namely um, Senator Cruz, who's up for re-election this year. Yeah, granted, we're working with a liaison or caseworker, as they want to call them. I would prefer the term liaison, but not everybody can say that word. If you're well, not too many non-Americans can say that word, anyways. uh, but anyway, to try to get the VA to, kind of correct themselves on that. Come to find out, the doctor who I was in front of for, an actual doctor for one of the three people for the evaluation, the other two were still, occupational therapist, physical therapist level, which were the main ones that put in the denial for those two reasons. Uh, and obviously, oh, thank you for sharing it out. Uh, thank you for sharing it out, AVA. Uh, I think Skipper says your name, but I never want to mispronounce anybody's name. But anyways, that, and don't want to dox anybody either. So, but you do need to tame that beard a little bit, AVA. Woo. Tame the mane. But anyways, uh, yeah. So those are the reasons they've denied that. Now another issue back to the doctor part. The doctor is a Dr. Sadiq. Now, I didn't mean to be offensive if I got, by getting his, the wrong nationality of the name, but come to find out, he is originally from Bangladesh. Oh, yeah, they could do that, but they won't even buy a cup holder for a rollator or a cane holder, yeah, so that you could actually, because, oh, rollators aren't meant to be sat in for extended periods of time. Oh, and yeah, they did offer me replacement rollators for the rollator I had that has a busted brake and some other issues. Uh, but the rollators they offered, one was too skinny, two and two, both of the rollators folded the wrong direction to where they were not easily transportable by any means or methods that I would need to, such as on a bike rack on the back of anything at the moment. Um, I am hopefully in the process of being able to finally swap out my defunct car and tow dolly for a trailer. Now, granted, the one that hopefully I just saw Skippers pop up regarding Angry Vet, um, uh, on Twitter there, X, but X Twitter. There we go. It's X Twitter. Yeah, back to okay. See, this is part of the reason why I sometimes. But Dr. Sadiq from Bangladesh, and you've researched the country. Uh, it's over 80%, 80, 90% uh, Islamic, Muslim. And here I am, a Christian. Uh, yeah, here's the problem, Roy. The primary care physician that I had uh, here in Texas, b kowtows to the wheelchair clinic. He's not allowed to do a physician's override or anything else. He has no power. Basically, he has no authority over he has no authority over veterans healthcare. Um, but yeah, but Dr. Sadiq, Bangladesh, Islamic religious. He's also the doctor I tried to do a FOIA request last year regarding approvals and denials with a breakdown of branches service, uh, ethnic, and basically a demographic breakdown, including religious and branches service, approvals and denials from the wheelchair clinic, because I wanted to see if there was a pattern in practice. And of course, I was denied that FOIA from him. I also did a federal FOIA, not only requesting for Central Texas, but also a nationwide number. And I was told, oh, they don't keep track of those numbers. Well, then how do they know that they're doing the job? But yeah. Uh, but back to hopefully being able to get a trailer. Was a more or less trading off with someone. Apparently, if this does work out, it's a former. It's it was originally a camper about as old as my RV. The previous the person that has it was supposed to do a build out to turn it into a taco trailer, but that the person left the trailer behind and moved out of state and decided not to do the taco trailer. But he had already gutted it out and got ready to redo the flooring because he didn't like the flooring that was in it. So there was already reason for him to do things with it, and this is as an opportunity. It'd be easier for him to sell off a car than my car than it would be uh, to because I've been approached about people wanting to buy just my car, but it's like since I've got so much stuff stored in it, I need to swap out for a trailer. So I already told the VA that I was planning on doing this swap for a trailer. They even made note in the notes that I was planning on switching to a trailer. Okay, so their own denial reasons do not conflict with their own no yeah the denial reasons conflict with the notes. And then, of course, the doctor sat there and said I should just follow the MOVE program and exercise like what was suggested last year by the clinic, which is messed up because I tried the MOVE program back when I first gained this weight. All I did was lose 10 pounds and gain it right back. I lost 10 pounds on one weigh in. The next day, I had the 10 pounds back from lymphatic edema, uh, which, you know, you Google it, there is no cure. There's things you can do to help mitigate it, but there is no cure. Uh, such as drinking citrus juice drinks and things like that. But when you also have acid reflux / GERD, yeah, you can't really drink as much citric acid type items. So yeah, I've got a bunch of conflicting things within my healthcare. Now, that's the bad news side of things / update on that. Uh, and if I have my computer up and running. Good news side of things, as hopefully I got a trailer in works, which might also include another generator that works. Hopefully within the next 24 to 48 hours, someone's going to be coming to help repair the bearings in the inverter bearings and the generator that's been our most reliable generator, not the most powerful, but most reliable. Um, being that it was a gas only generator. So that's some good news on that end. Uh, and then something I've been fighting for since April of last year. As of yesterday, I finally, I've been fighting since April of last year for community care. Just to break away from these student doctors and these doctors that don't want to that you make an appointment with. That you get a bad behavior letter because you throw because you throw a tantrum because you're scheduling an appointment with somebody and you're not meeting with them, and they try to throw bait and hook me. Yeah, bait and switch me. But anyways, so turn around and so I requested community care. Well, I've every time I've contacted them, I've requested community care, and after the behavior letter issues last summer, I really didn't reach out to them at all because I was expecting callbacks between July 4th and hopefully the new year, but never got any callbacks, not even to schedule an appointment with primary care, my annual appointment, which I'm overdue for. So I've been reaching out this year and constantly saying, hey, you got the community care team listed in my secure messaging. I'm not dead yet. Why hasn't nobody contacted me and, community care? Well, the primary care physician, Dr. Eaton, I mean, ended up becoming employee of the month on their Facebook page. And by the way, this is the only, I'm still getting emails for town halls from VAs I haven't been to in a couple of years now. From Louisville, Kentucky VA, I'm getting emails regarding them doing monthly town halls. Houston, when they do their every or tri-monthly, or bi-monthly or quarterly town halls, and even like Ohio town halls for the VA. But yet I haven't seen a single email newsletter regarding Central Texas, aka Temple, Texas, doing a single town hall. But anyways, I'm not dead yet. But my health is getting worse. I hate to admit that. Any veteran hates to admit that. Uh, you know, but yeah, it was a fight. Well, so this Dr. Eaton, who I tried to set the appointment with last year and was a no-show, says, okay, he'll take over as my primary care. I'm like, okay, one last shot here. This is the same doctor who basically has been told that he has no authority over veteran health care, especially when it comes to, he can't override anything. Okay, that's a lie. They're lying to him and he don't realize it. Uh, doesn't help that I think he's a couple years younger than me as well. So it's not like, yeah, he's been taught a game he don't know, he hasn't been taught the truth about the game. Uh, so they called me to set up an appointment with him. Well, that appointment was set for December 4th. Well, December 4th is more than 30, 60, and at the time it was set, more than 90 days from the time the appointment was being set. So therefore, I used that as one last jab at the primary care. So now I've got the community care thing. Yeah, the behavior flag is a sham because we're all, it's veterans. I mean, I'm sorry, veterans are gonna be rough. I mean, as that hashtag is, we are all angry vets. Uh, you know, you screw with us, you screw with one, you screw with us all. We can razz on each other for branch of service all day long, but some civilian little jerk comes in and starts razzing on one. It's yeah, them against all the armed forces, brothers and sisters in arms. But well, it's kind of hard for me to get. Well, here's the fun thing is I made sure to mention that I'm a reverend and I'm an ordained minister, and that kind of and they can see. So them trying to blow me out of proportion they're going to have a fun time of it. So yeah, the community care network is falling apart. Well, because I had done something similar to basically community care back in New York State pre-COVID. I had a separate primary care physician that was, in network, but he was, but it was separate from the VA. It was actually, yeah, I was getting a lot done with him. Uh, you're in El Paso. I'm in Austin, Roy. That pretty nice building they built here in Austin. And that December 4th appointment was also a telehealth appointment to boot. It wasn't like it was an in-person appointment. In person, I would have had to wait till another week or two, until almost the new year, to 2025, for that specific primary care physician. So at least I was able to force the issue on the community care, which is through, I guess, a third party company is involved, called Tri West. Repeat that, Tri West. Yeah, a little dry mouth. Have a drink here, so I can speak more clearly. But yeah, but they called me yesterday, and here's the fun part. Tri West computer system dials out yesterday. Fails to mention two things in the voicemail that it left the first time around, because I didn't catch the phone in time. Fails to mention the VA and the community care program. It called the second time because I was expecting the call when I saw the voicemail and figured out what it was. And then, which didn't do that until around 6 p.m., which is kind of messed up. But luckily, the employee was a work from home employee and was able to ask me all the questions, stuff like that, to start the process of helping me find an in-network primary care physician. But I mean, even Dr. Eaton with the VA, yeah, he tried to pull. Oh, they would try to force me with a doctor back where my domicile address is, because I'm a full timer. It's like, no, and I have some, if I already have a physician in mind that I know works with them, I have it. I have a choice. I don't just take whatever physician they assign for community care. If I have one in mind. Now, I don't have anyone in mind. I haven't worked with a general practitioner in Texas in, well, pretty much my whole life. Either been VA more recently, or just didn't see a doctor at all for the longest part of my life, living here in Texas. So yeah. So that's what's going on with all that. Any questions? Something I didn't cover? If you're here, say hello, thumbs up, all the normal rigmarole. So yeah, I'm still having that fight for a scooter. I mean, yeah, and knowing my luck, the power mobility scooter they'll give me is probably the Pride Victory 10, which has a 400-pound weight limit but can't climb nothing. Only works on the flats. So, and it is what it is. Something's better than nothing. But I know that Skipper and some of the people over there with Veteran Nation. Yeah, that's messed up what happened to you, AVA. what which office for the state of Texas? State of Texas VA. Temple. Actually, was the Dallas is in charge. There's a person in Dallas who's in charge of the visions here in Texas. I do know that the director that I met with last year, who I think attended West Point with Acorn Cop, um, he is on. He has been at least temporarily reassigned to Vegas, just like what happened with the Buffalo, New York director. I don't know. Well, Buffalo, New York director. I don't know if he got reassigned to Vegas, but I know he got reassigned to another location for remedial training or whatever, or basically just hide them from one place, send them to another to, you know, like the Catholic Church with their bad priests. Oh, we got too many complaints here, too much noise here, so let's send them somewhere else, so they can destroy things over there and make noise there. But yeah, so they have a new interim director in Temple, but which I haven't well, I've reached out to that person a couple of times, but all I've gotten reception blocked. I get the receptionist and can't get past. They're just as usual, never available. State VA office. I've never heard that. I've tried to jump up the chain as much as I could, try to figure out chain, aka the chain of command, and haven't. And like I said, I tried. And here's the fun part. Here's what I don't get. And this happened. Okay, this happened in Bath, New York as well. The Bath VAMC in Bath, New York, Steuben County, New York. Bath, Steuben County, New York. The following year, after I made at least 3 complaints, and we're talking complaints that I even called, even tried to call the IG's office on. The following year, they get a 5-star rating from Medicaid and Medicare. And that just happened with Temple, or should I say the Central Texas VA system as well. Is this year they got a 5-star rating award from Medicaid, Medicare. It's like, how do you get that when basically a no income veteran is filing complaints? And I know I'm not the only one. So yeah, how does that work? Conveniently, the following year they get a 5-star rating from an agency that really has nothing to doesn't have too much to do with them, unless you happen to be on welfare and well, or retired SSI. If you're on, unless you have basically Medicaid, Medicare pay helping foot the bill. But I will say that in general, I still got crappy health care even when I had Medicaid. So I guess it's only Medicare veterans who have Medicare or made it to Medicare are able to get halfway decent health care out of the VA. Yeah. That stuff was happened to you there, AVA, and actually, I got one better for you. VA care is Obamacare. The current VA care is Obamacare. Changed my mind. Uh, All Obamacare really did was make it 1,000 times harder for me to try to get civilian coverage for me and my family. You know, yeah, Obamacare just basically jacked up the prices for regular health insurance to where, yeah, you can't afford it. If you have a low or limited income, you can't afford it, so you're stuck with government-run healthcare that you're a number, not a name. Don't believe me? You're not a number. What do they ask you for every time you check in for an appointment or you show up at the VA? Last four of your social. Oh, change did come. They're taking every spare change out of your pockets. That's the kind of change it was. They're stealing all our change. Oh, you got an extra nickel? Well, well, I'm going to charge you 10 cents more for this item. Well, now you're beyond broke. And that's the thing is, yeah, SSI goes up, you get a COLA, cost of living adjustment for SSDI or for SSI. So you get a whole whopping, in my wife's case, a whole whopping $30 more a month on the best one. Was like a $30 was like a 20 something dollar increase. But all the cost of everything else went up. You know, people's rents, the cost, fuel costs for the month went up $40. Rent goes up, or the power companies that are owned by Spain, owned by Spain, go up double. So if you're paying 100 a month, now you got to pay 200 a month. I mean, oh, they've been saying that just replace Obama with Eisenhower and everybody else. Hey, VA, that is an old one. The Gov takes back 99. Yeah. Well, heck, what's messed up is as a E2, E3 when I was in the Navy, and I never made E4 Mafia. I never quite made it to E4 Mafia. Uh, but E2, E3, literally, my pay before taxes every month was like around what was it, 380 as an E2 and 450 as an E3 in the mid 90s, because I was on base and I got free food at shelter. So therefore, I didn't need, and I was single. So therefore, I didn't need anything else to live on. So percentage wise of pay versus cost of living, or, just doing things fun, uh, the pay scale's gotten a lot better. And they didn't have cell phones back when back in the mid 90s. Well, cell phones and beepers were the big thing, but starting to become a big thing. Cell phones were just starting to enter the market, but oh boy, were they expensive. Pay over $2,000 a month for a cell phone minimum. uh, with the mall bells and all the smaller companies before they got bought out and merged into the bigger ones. But see, and my wife should be on Medicare, but believe it or not, I mean, she's permanently disabled, but because she is not at the retirement age, even though she's been receiving SSI for more than 10 years now, they stick her on Medicaid instead of Medicare. And she should be getting Medicare. so that way she could actually use her health insurance and not, because yeah, that's one of the things with her and her Medicare or her Medicaid, is because we are more than 300 miles away, because we are basically on the wrong side of the tracks. She can't go to a primary care doctor because it's out of network, and that's here within the state of Texas. Now, if you have Medicaid from New York State, yeah, Medicaid from New York State would work down here because, yeah, it wasn't, well, but then again, that was also before Obamacare. So, yeah, it wasn't so restrictive. Obamacare actually basically says if you're sick, ever since the Obamacare thing, if you're sick, you're not supposed to travel more than 50 miles from your house. No, she didn't have enough work credits to get SSDI. And I tried to apply when I tried to apply for for SSDI. Um, when my health first went south and I blew up the 100 pounds and realized I could no longer work a full time job. Uh, because I mean, what job is going to accommodate you having to lay down and kick your feet up every every couple of hours? They're not even the work from home, especially when you tend to fall asleep when you do take the gabapentin for back pain. But yeah, but yeah, the VA had my records messed up so bad that, oh, it's not consistent of your diagnoses, consistent health problems for every visit. I go in with 5 problems. The primary care would only write down 2 to 3 of them, and then focus on one of them for the following year. They're supposed to. Yeah, they say you're supposed to take the gabapentin on a regular basis, but I found since it doesn't 100% alleviate my pain, I only take it really on really super bad days, and when I know I don't have to drive or do anything because it literally knocks me out. But that's because I take basically about 1,200 milligrams at a time, and it just takes my pain from a 10, officially a 10 down to a 7. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, and back to the whole rollator thing, because that was another thing they put in the notes for trying to keep me from getting a power mobility scooter. They made sure to mention that I denied their rollators, including their bariatric one. Their bariatric rollator. I mean, we're talking. This is those hard plastic ones with the metal bar for a back brace with a very thin, not even truly a pull noodle. A pull noodle is like 3 times as thick as the little foamy piece they use as a back cushion on it. Okay, so someone with disc bulges and back problems is going to use a rollator to that has a metal bar in it that would hit right in the back, just because they didn't want to give me a power scooter. And yeah, I needed a new rollator, but not one of them. I would really love that AVA. That's why I've got the Gibson Go. Skipper sometimes calls it a GoFundMe because everybody's so used to that brand. It's like, you know, you got DuckDuckGo and other search engines, but everybody says just Google it. Yeah. Unfortunately, GoFundMe being the first ones in the market have kind of goofed that one up. But yeah, I've got it scrolling there across. Anything helps if somebody can toss $1 in it. Great. No, I don't ask for much. I need a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of things that I basically need a whole new RV and stuff. But yeah, but a lot of the problem with that AVA is a lot of those programs and stuff are region specific. They have a they have a very specific area they cover, and that's the problem. They cover within. It's like pizza delivery. Some of them only will deliver to within like when Domino's is doing their 30-minute, 30 minutes or less. There's so many Domino's stores, Domino's restaurants because they made sure to put them within 30-minute spots, and then they wouldn't go into certain neighborhoods. Uh, I do know that there's one company right there, between the state park and the VA that has power mobility scooters. I've looked at what they have that are heavy duty, aka bariatric, that can handle my weight. They have like three of them that can handle my weight, but one of them is, well, one of them is a Victory 10, and one of them makes the Victory 10 look powerful. And then they have one that is like, technically beast mode. I mean, it's perfect for what for being a full time RVer and wanting to be able to go on trails. And I mean, heck, even the Capitol building here in Austin, in state capitol here in Austin, Texas. You have an incline just to get up to the state capitol from where you can park. Uh, you know, Believe it or not, Texas isn't all flat. There's some rolling hills that, yeah, it's not quite as steep as the Rice Aroni in San Francisco, but you're getting close. They're steep inclines. Um, but they have one that's like $4,200 or something like that, without any accessories. Is their most expensive model. I don't even think they have a lift for it. It's because of the wheelbase and everything on it. It's a little wider, a little longer, like an inch or two longer, an inch or two, and like a half inch wider than, uh, yeah, this is their biggest lift that they have, unless you do the cherry picker lift. Want to pick, the crane. But yeah, that's why I'm hoping to have this trailer. And I know Skipper and Veteran Nation had mentioned something about someone wanting to, and I even saw it in one of the chats one time, look into getting like a used golf cart or something to help us. So that's why I'm kind of hoping that trying to get this trailer. I mean, yeah, if this trailer falls through, I know there are other ways to get a trailer, but it's all requires money. And like I said, I'd rather just try to trade and swap out so that way, they can take away the old stuff, resell it, make money off of it. And that's well, a bariatric scooter because the chairs, if going up a hill and stuff like that, especially with my weight and having vertigo and whatnot, could tip over. I mean, even though they have the wheelie bar, anti wheelie wheels, but and stuff. Um, on the one hand, chairs are kind of nice because they can go into smaller spaces for the actual little chair versions, and yeah, it'd be easier on me on hand controls. But if I were to actually, like go on walking trails and things like that, there, unless it's a tracked one, yeah. Um, shoot, what is the name of that company? Pull it up on my phone here. Get this charging up. Yeah, I can tell you the name of the company that is, right here in Austin. You would almost think with where they're located that they work with both RVers and the VA, aka veteran RVers, and stuff, pretty easily for, let's see, what is it called? The Auto Mobility Store, Austin, Texas. They even do. allegedly even still do wheelchair vans and stuff like that. Yeah, automobilitystore.com. And their images showed like the wheelchair vans, but going on their website, I didn't find the vans, but I did find the scooters. Actually, I tried to reach out to that one, but yeah, basically, I had a I called, ended up leaving a message. The sales guy called back, ended up playing phone tag. I go to call back, once I had the name, I tried calling back and leaving a message for that specific person, and they never called me back. There's another one down in Buda that I had called, that they do get donations. Sometimes they get people donating their old ones and stuff. I reached out to them and told them, kind of what I was needed. And yeah, they said they basically would, take my information down and let me know, because it's, when it comes to stuff like that, it's what comes in is what people no longer are needing because their loved one are either upgraded or passed on. So, but most people would rather go on Facebook Marketplace and sell for a few dollars, sell for retail something that's 10 years old. And that's another thing. You can get power mobility scooters, even the folding ones. You can get them cheap all day. You can get them for less than $300 online all day long but they only go up to 250 pounds weight rating. I weigh between 360 and 380. That's another fun thing. They didn't even weigh me for my wheelchair clinic appointment to figure out, to verify that I still would need a bariatric chair, bariatric weighted, yeah, heavy duty, weight rated. Because then also, this being an old Ford van chassis that this RV's on, you could easily put a lift or, a way to carry you basically install a hitch and slash lift or whatever on the front bumper of this thing. So it's not like there's no way to transport and keep it going, even, and that's if I didn't have this, hopefully have this trailer coming along. And there's some other trailers and stuff that are, straight up contractor type trailers and stuff like that, through like what is that, Gov Planet, that does the government auctions and stuff like that. Heck, they had one really cool one that I thought was really cool. It had a big old dragon on it. Here in, I think that one was even here in Texas too. It's like, whoa, that's cool. The more talking heads, the better. But sometimes you got to be careful. All talk and no action make for very frustrating times. And well, I'm surprised. And somebody else popped in. Yeah, please like, subscribe, say hello during the conversation. Uh, Using StreamYard. If anybody wants to come on and chat with me and hang out for a few, can do that too. I've gotten the main thing out of the way at the beginning of this video, so if anybody that wants to worry about that, it was just updating the on the red tape. Gotta be careful. This thing's about to. Hope I don't overheat. Nice, the batteries. All right. A little battery powered fan. And heck, after 4 o'clock, was supposed to have had a 40% chance of rain. I guess that 40% chance became 0. Should have had some showers. Warm to some degree. Those are nice. Oh, been there, done that. Luckily, my youngest is now 12. That's another thing I tried to explain to them. My wife, she's a veteran as well, but she doesn't go, she refuses to go to the VA because at one point she was a nurse and even did some time as a nurse with that same Bath VA back in New York. Let me know if that fan noise gets overwhelming. Something now. But yeah, so until they start taking care of the male veterans, she refuses to go see them, use those benefits for herself because I mean that's all they advertise here in Texas is oh female veterans, oh alphabet soup veterans, please come in. We want you to come to the VA. Oh, you're a straight Christian veteran? Nah, get out of here. I don't know if he'll come down my way. I like Angry Vet and all. For the most, I'm behind him on his cause. I'm behind him on a lot of what's going on. Uh, and even I'm a fan of for public safety and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I don't think he'll come to Texas because one, they haven't made one thing legal here yet, and two, I'm allergic to that stuff. So, but the biggest problem is they need to stop. They need to put veteran as the one chart of Skippers is veterans before illegals. Unfortunately, there's too many illegals before veterans. Yeah, but right now since I didn't get arrested for anything, I'm very low on the bucket list. I've invited him to come down here. Don't get me wrong. At one point, when they were mentioning about visiting Oklahoma, I was like, "Well, why don't y'all swing by this way and say hi? Just to hang out and say hi for at least a couple hours or something, because that's the problem without the scooter and especially without a running car now too. I basically have over 60 feet of vehicle that I've got a a vehicle length that I got to move around. So it takes all day to load up and then move, or I just sit somewhere for a while, like public parks or right now what isn't a park yet. The city owns the land because of 100-year flood that happened, and people sold out to the city next to housing neighborhood. But because the park that I was sitting in, that I'm on Google Maps for, it's street and satellite. Um, Needless to say, has an event this upcoming Saturday where they've got that area reserved and blocked off. So they're calling it Wrong Turn something or another, which is basically a little bicycle racing relay, whatever. Let's go to that website. But yeah, look, heck, if I had my choice and things to do and had the way of doing it, I would love to own a small RV park or something like that. Or well, at some point, I'd love to just have land to park, at least to park, my RV on. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a small RV park or something like that and say, hey, come on over here, guys. Let's see. What's that one called? Oh, heck, they got some new ones. The EV Rider Vita Monster heavy duty all terrain mobility scooter. Thing starting at $5,500. Little enclosed four wheel. Looking like one of those little. Yeah, just having fun trying to look at it. Anybody here, say hello. I'm just being a bit of a moron looking at Mac's. Come on, that's pride. That's a pride device, maybe. Here. No, it might be the PX Pride PX4 was the one that I was looking at. So yeah, I think even the VA would cover that one if they would get off their dust and approve. So looking at these 5 years shop writers. Uh, okay, I'm gonna check the boxes for compares. Mm, I'm not good to compare. So just what I really want to know is the specs. Okay, top speed 9.3. But it doesn't say if it can climb a hill. They had some that would say they could handle, so much of an incline or whatever. The PX and stuff. Here's the biggest problem I have. I haven't had an income since 2015. I've had an identity thief who's had an income a couple of times since then, but I haven't had an income. Literally, my family's only income is my wife's SSI check of $941 or $943 a month. Everything else, just for survival, is donations to the ministry. Are just straight up donations. People that we've met along the way that want to help or whatever. They help with specific things like 4 day, 3 nights and 4 days over at the state park last week. But the state park's always booked on the weekends, so. Uh, personally, so if I have no money, I mean, yeah, I can Google, I can shop, or I can search, I can shop around, I can see what's available. But and that's another thing is there's a possibility that some of my health issues might be service connected, but the VA has so slow rolled me on my health care that good luck trying to put link it all together. I was on an aircraft carrier that had asbestos. I do have COPD lung problems that could possibly be cancerous to mesothelioma level, but beginning stages or something. Yeah, I still have very good lung capacity, but that's always because I've had basically a very good lung power since I was a kid. Even though I was a quiet baby, I've been, quiet as a baby, but apparently I got some good lungs. That's because I love to sing, gospel songs and things like that. I can even rap a little too. Oh boy. Might be starting to overheat or something. Yeah, it's too hot to charge. Using an older device to do this little streaming here, but maybe at one point didn't I give you my phone number? My cell phone number? No, when I reached out to you and then you referred me over to Skipper. Yeah. Anybody else here? Please say hi. Don't be shy. Please say hi. We're just nice and friendly over here. Let me get goofy. Ooh. Now we got two of me here. All right. Hopefully, can you still hear me now? I think we removed the echo. All right. I switched devices. I switched to the newer phone. So that old S9 just loves to overheat. Good for a little while, but then it's toast. Its battery was getting low too, so down instead. Yeah, I'd rather use the fan for me, not for the phone. Oh, Texas. Well, I'd rather use the computers, but yeah, that's the problem. And the thing is, you can find the standard duty chairs, aka 250, maybe 300-pound weight ratings, all day long. People donate, or people can't get rid of those ones most of the time. But it's bariatric, aka heavy duty things that that's why there's such a high price still on them. I mean, just go on to Amazon and I mean, you can order off of Amazon, order scooters off of Amazon and Walmart.com and all that stuff these days. And if you weigh 250 or less, you're good. Cheaper than a car. Heck, cheaper than some bicycles if you weigh less than 250. But if you weigh 350 or more, you need something more heavy duty. Yeah, you're almost better off trying to order one of those little Chinese little electric cars. What do they call it? Yeah, little 3-4 seater stuff. But you can't drive those into a store. So yeah, yeah. Try driving one of those into your Capitol building. Let's see how well they like that. uh, oh, yeah, on Restream and on StreamYard, basically, I'm on the free account stuff. If anybody was to guest with me, unfortunately, they couldn't restream their own thing because I'm too broke. But that's why I've also not just got the Gifts and Go, but I've also got the Venmo. If someone wants to donate for other purposes other than the scooter, there's Venmo. Cash App is yeah. You can get started on it. Hopefully, it's not split pea soup for the baby for the littles. But, well, I don't have a whole lot more to say. I know that usually somebody else has put their daily video out by now. What the hells has put their daily video out, and I know Skipper and TC have their live going on later. So don't want to kill anybody's battery other than my own. That know who I'm going to talk to. But then again, usually about I don't know what it is, about an hour in. That's the messed up thing. You go over an hour with streams. It doesn't. The YouTube algorithms are messed up. People don't want to stick around for more than an hour to watch something in general, but it takes at least an hour into a live stream before YouTube really starts recognizing you're there and putting it in people's timelines. I mean, heck, that's half the time why I'm late. You only had AVA. Your stream was only what 45, 48 minutes last night, and I literally had to catch the replay, and then it didn't show me the chat on the replay because it was too soon. And at first, it told me it was private while it was. And at first, it was told me it was not publicly available while it was processing it into the YouTube vaults. So that was also because at the same time we were eating dinner over here, and I didn't have my phone with me to watch the stream. It's 4 o'clock there, your time. 6 p.m. here. 6:10 actually, but question, AVA, did you get a chance to see? I didn't do one this week, but last week I did uh, an episode called Rev Time, REV. I don't know if you got a chance to see that or not. And if you did, let me know what you think. Would like feedback on that kind of stuff because, you know, I don't want to put a lot of effort into something that nobody's going to pay attention to. And I think someone else came in here. Please like, subscribe, thumbs up, say hello, say goodbye, tell me to get bent. Come on. Aw. Hey. Yeah, I'm not saying, yeah, you haven't watched it yet. You know. Oh, hello, dear. See, you made it. Okay. That'd be the better half. AVA. She's the one that keeps me in line, or at least helps keep me alive to keep annoying the VA. Literally. Yeah, it's still over 90 degrees here. Uh, yeah, usually she tries to hide in the shadows. I told her to actually comment. It actually helps. Helps beat the YouTube algorithms into. Yeah, dear. I just everything's good here at the house other than the usual. But and someone else has popped in. Please say hello. If I can pull my wife out of the woodwork, please say hello. Uh, Nobody has to see my ugly beard this time. My disheveled beard. Uh, yep, dippers. But yeah, the rev time thing was kind of along the lines of what Skipper was wanting me to work towards. Yeah, Skipper, what saying you're doing like a daily devotional thing, but I think that might be a little much. Well, at least with my current setup and abilities, trying to do daily would be a little bit overkill. But hoping to at least get into a weekly veteran-oriented little devotional thing, and trying to put more of a veteran military soldier sailor spin on scripture. If it's not already there, breaking it in ways that this us veterans would understand a lot better than you know something they don't quite do at chapel on the basis. They just read the scripture as if they're reading it to John Q. Public, which is great, but you know, my wife can attest to the fact that I'm not too bad at taking what the scripture says and putting it into a context that no matter what your profession, I can pretty much bring it into a level that makes even more sense. And my favorite is the King James version of the Bible. If anybody ever wants, or anybody to pull that one up, always be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Nobody believes a lie. Nobody believes the truth, anyways. Especially the VA. Yes, I know you're not a faith person, really, but maybe we can change that. Oh, yeah, true. That's also why the very first scripture I focused on is one pretty much every veteran knows. The very first scripture I focused on for the first episode, and I thought it was appropriate for doing the first episode, was the infamous Psalms 23, and involving, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because that's something that, especially any veteran who lost trust in basically the flesh and blood you were following, or lost trust in the Almighty, because when I talk about the whole donate, receiving donations, stuff like that, how me and my family survive, literally survive, is God's provision. We are, me and my family are a walking testament to that. So, uh, and see, that's another thing that the wife is doing that involves that. Okay, I will bring this up. The whole lack of consistent charging abilities. Actually, that's what the wife is doing. She's charging a couple of battery boxes, little power bank boxes that have like AC and DC on them at a local church that has a setup for the homeless and others to be able to use to charge up stuff. You know, and back to that side of what I was talking about earlier. That yeah, but also soldiers of it. Ultimately, God doesn't want us to kill. Well, except for in very specific circumstances. Um, not to commit murder, but if it's in defense or especially self-defense, it's it's justifiable. You forget in the Old Testament, God is God is a jealous God, and so jealous that he wiped out so, someone was sent to wipe out an entire family tree. Whole family line was to be killed, which is an extreme. but also God knew what was going to happen when he made that order, that the person wasn't going to do it 100%. You know, it was more about, well, it's like Abraham and Isaac having the trust and faith to follow through with he orders at the very last second, because God is really good at that very last second. Oh man, I've seen that time and time again. Bringing something into the picture to make that to for the sacrifice instead. Uh, but it's the fact, it's just being willing to show that you are willing to do as he wishes, that you have that much trust and faith and fear, righteous fear of the Lord. Um, Maybe sometime we can, privately sit down and have a conversation. No, not to argue, just to have a good, good old fashioned discussion. You know, I mean, I can argue with a brick wall if I think I'm right, but that's just stubbornness. But that's, that's actually a familial trait up one of my family trees. Gravy, how you doing? Long time no chat. And you just missed Peggy. She went back to what other things she was doing. See, the fun starts after I've been streaming for at least an hour. In this case, almost an hour and a half. Now we're getting into the fun. Now people realize I'm here. We all have reasons to be angry. I mean, even Jesus Christ himself flipped tables in the temple because he was angry. There is such a thing as a justifiable anger. I haven't even seen that drawing, AV. I heard you mention it. I saw you mention it earlier, but there, I'll make sure Gravy can see you want that. You want that drawing, AVA. uh, yeah, let's get this party started. It's too late to call back east on behalf of Angry Vet. So, and everybody but Gravy's had their chance to rant and rave about the situation. TC did, Skipper did one, you did one, AVA. Angry Vet himself did something. So, man, I think that back to what you said about the whole veterans and military need the leadership or whatever. I think we really, like there's, well, although it's kind of starting to chew on its own a little bit as it sorts itself out. I think there really needs to come together a good hashtag VA sucks. And we are all angry vets. We need to come together as veterans and create a true veteran community. Maybe bring in honor your oath and people like that too. Because I believe he's a veteran as well. You're talking about Tav, yeah. It's a damn shame what's happening to every single vet. We're all getting on YouTube to try and share our stories, and yeah, some mine is health related. Yeah, well, they're all all the VA stuff's health related. Yeah, I haven't worn shiny bracelets over the matter yet, but the key word is yet. And that shouldn't be a key, and that shouldn't be part of it. It shouldn't be wearing shiny bracelets yet. Like that was even something. Believe it or not, it was something I actually asked the VA police here at the local clinic, is if I were to protest, what their local rules and policies were if I were to stand outside and protest with the sign. Do I have to go all the way out the gate, or could I do it right there by the front entrance? And the VA police were a little clueless on that one. There's very few 1A community that are for the veterans. Primarily honor your oath. Probably another one who might be really good is Amagansett Press. Somebody reaching out to him. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Austin, Texas VA clinic, is it's actually surrounded by it. They've got a wrought iron fence around the property with gates that close at night, and there's not really any place to park off campus without being in the roadway. So it makes it almost, for someone with mobility issues that might use, for in my case, I might use like, those little car digital signs or that they're using for funny eyeballs and big rigs and stuff too. Uh, Side note. Um, that, yeah, but basically it boils down to there is no training or guidance, and the VA being a national organization should have some training or guidance policy. I mean, heck, the post office has at least poster 7. Granted, most of them don't know about it, but yeah, but they have, there are emails that go out. There's poster 7. There's the DHS, DH, what is it? Yeah, DSHS or whatever. Yeah, Homeland Security stuff. Yeah, technically, I should be able to park my stuff right there in the VA parking lot overnight and camp right there, especially if I have an appointment the next morning or something, or need to take the shuttle to Temple or something. But you can't. Doesn't mean that there's not room enough to park up in there. But they know that if they started to allow it with just one overnight for a couple of people here and there, the next thing you know is yeah. I mean, I haven't. I wish somebody would put out updated numbers of the percentage of homeless. The percentage of homeless that are veterans. I know, like back in the 1980s, maybe early 90s, when the last time they put out numbers, it was like, you know, 90% of the homeless males were veterans, and like 75 to 80% of the homeless females were veterans, or something, crazy numbers like that. But it's like, how long did it take them to update from 21 a day to 22 a day? And then they just say 22 plus a day. They don't want to admit the real numbers. It would really make them, really make the government look bad, including those who are on the VA subcommittees and stuff. They're supposed to be in charge of it. I mean, granted, doesn't mean they're not doing good work on the other stuff that they're doing, but yeah, I mean, heck, my senator's office I tried reaching out to last year was completely unavailable. Conveniently, you finally get a hold of people this year. The only reason you get a hold of people this year is because it's an election year. Person's up for re-election. Ooh, cover up that pus, gravy. Catch you later, gravy. Uh, and I do have a Discord. Uh, Anybody wants to join me on that as well? There's the ministry, there's the podcast section, and there's a veterans hangout area too. And actually, a lot of people's videos, like AVA Gravy, when you guys go live, on YouTube, uh, it puts out a notification into my Discord. I actually have that set up. I haven't quite put up a notification for Squid Pro Quo because I was confused about something that I need to do my homework on first. But yeah, and notifications in one channel on it that's basically anything religiously related, or when I go live personally, and then because my stuff can be either or, and then but all my for my brothers and sisters in arms, they can have up to 30 different channels that it alerts for, and still got room for a few more. So when TC goes live, when Skipper goes live, AVA, heck, when Angry Vet goes live, Gravy, all you folks, it does a blast on my Discord server. So, which should be there should be a link that should hopefully work. If it doesn't work, let me know, and I'll have to go in and put in and update it or something. Because I know some other links expire, and I might have accidentally put in a one that does the expiration, expires after like 48 hours, whatever. But yeah, if Angry Vet would even show up to one of my lives, he'd see that he would automatically have a wrench. Like I even think I gave wrench status to like FBI. Yeah, I gave wrench status to a few other specific channels if they ever were to arrive in mine. Just because I know sometimes trolls and whatnot follow them. Trolls and drama may follow, so yeah, I have the wrench to deal with it, and or drop their own links. I don't know you are. I'm just rambling like a blasted fool over here. That's all. I think you're the only one here at the moment, AVA. Yeah, it's okay. Clear up notifications on my phone. Different things. I'll get to watch some more fun videos later. Hey, Skipper, how you doing? This time I came home before you and TC went live. Can't wait to watch your show later. If you're still doing one. AVA's hiding at the grill at the moment, so he's listening, but he'll respond as soon as he gets a moment's notice. And what time? After what time is your live, Skipper? Your yours and TC show there tonight? Anybody else here? Like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, bend it like Beckham, whatever. 9 Eastern. All right. We got a little over an hour before your show. And basically, at the beginning of the video, I wasn't expecting it to go too long, but having fun with AVA, and then Gravy dropped in. Yeah, just the stuff that I've shared with you is about the updates. Although there was one thing I didn't get a chance that I haven't mentioned to you, Skipper, is that I might possibly have a trailer that is modified to be able to handle hopefully a golf cart and mobility scooter. If this person is as reliable as I hope they are. Funny thing is, Peggy, my wife, she did do culinary school through BOCES back in New York. Both she did culinary and she did nursing.
Excuse me, there is a message for you.
But because of her blindness and stuff now, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know it. She doesn't get as creative as she'd like. Mostly because she can't read the ingredients half the time. Or especially now that we're in an RV. But every step gets us there. Well, yeah, you were mentioning the Skipper. You were mentioning the Gov auctions and stuff like that, and I'd actually looked up on Gov Planet to see what they had for both military generators and for utility trailers. And there was a nice, pretty one that had a dragon, had a dragon on it, along with some company that had dragon in their name, black and red. But yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. It's probably been auctioned off by now. The Cordon Bleu. And hopefully, the next 48 hours, we'll have a generator back up and running again. But yeah, like one of the things I mentioned about the whole inconsistent charging is they don't realize how resourceful RVers are. I mean, solar, generator, RV park, state park. Heck, my wife is even currently right now charging some battery boxes and stuff over at a nearby church that has basically some outlets on the back of their street facing sign that they allow the homeless and whatnot to charge up. But yet this VA wants to be stupido. What can you do? Give a few more minutes if anybody else wants to just hang out and talk for a few. Do one of your famous cut-offs. I wasn't even expecting to last an hour, let alone almost two. Wow. That's the way it be, though, sometimes. That'll give an hour in between for anybody to go catch up on what the hell's the daily video storage unit or whatever he's got going on today. Or Megan Fox or Umbrella Guy or any of those other people. Yeah, I think we really need to start centralizing as veterans and coalescing into one good live streaming unit. Maybe you did just about right. You could, almost have a Roku channel with everybody on a certain schedule when they jump in with their streams. I think it'd be kind of cool to do stuff like that. Really coalesce around, whether it's Bonnie or Oath with his signs and having fun with people. And his, I mean, we'd have to put Angry Vet definitely late night, just because of the colorful language. Yeah. Something else I need to catch up on is Lar. I haven't watched any of his things in a while. But I'll stream all night there from Southern California. And one of you is still here, probably AVA. Oh wait, YouTube. If you don't talk, it times you out and it doesn't show you there when you're there. Yeah, like that's the most ridiculous thing. I also think that's why it might be good for ads that pop up for helping those that are monetized. At least get get the monetization for a view. To watch in the background like you're trying to do, you're doing AVA a little bit of. But I think as far as getting the numbers and things like that, yeah, the way they time people out, like they check on chat participants, and all of a sudden, 1 minute you're there, the next you're not. So that was another thing I was trying to figure out when trying to see if I could get guest memberships to this account was, making sure I wasn't timed out when they were given, when somebody gave a bunch. Because I tried to remove the branding and it wouldn't let me. Even though I told it to remove the branding from this account, it didn't. So that way it could receive gifts. I tell it I want to receive gifts, but yeah, because it's branded, it can't. Happy, happy, joy, joy. But also back to that trailer thing is if this specific trailer works out, yeah, I plan on actually not only using it for the storage for scooter and if someone blesses us with a golf cart or UTV or something, having that about, but also using it to build out a ham shack slash office space, office workspace to my computers and things to be able to stream from. So we'll see. We'll see if I get to have a rolling studio with me. Studio slash ham shack slash whatever. Anybody else gonna drop by? Probably not. They're all probably like everybody else. Butter base with shallots, garlic, rosemary, and thyme. You know, I've never really understood what shallows were. The garlic, rosemary, and thyme, yeah, I understand that. But yeah, and anybody watching this, if you watch, is more likely watching after the fact, because it's probably going to shut her down soon. Want to help me try to get a non-VA scooter, since the VA doesn't want to give me one for bogus reasons. Just what's to the beginning. The Give Send Go address there on scrolling across the screen. And if you just like to donate to help with other matters such as gasoline, tires, general maintenance, the occasional ice cream, repair, repairs or whatever. Always Venmo at Katie7LTN. That's an L, and yeah. After the number 7 is the letter L. Those that might have trouble seeing the text. So, like, subscribe, thumbs up. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's cold. There's your AVA. Drop it like it's a baked potato. Just don't drop the steak for the dogs to eat. I'm still here. I'm still a talking and a coughing, hacking and a wheezing. I don't quite consider myself. I'm an ordained minister. I'm more of an evangelist. More, try to be more like Billy Graham was. I don't have a congregation to shepherd over every week. That's why I don't quite consider myself a pastor. I do consider myself kind of a unofficial chaplain, though. I don't have the national credentials, and I don't, the board credentials, and I've got to recomplete the organization's chaplaincy program that I'm ordained through. Luckily, it's a work at my own pace. I'm about a third of the way through it. Because being ex-military, all the FEMA courses I've taken, different things like that. understanding incident command, going on, well, doing a Race Across America event and going on one uh, thing with Team Rubicon. Yeah, I wasn't doing that as Team Rubicon. I didn't do as a minister. I tried to do that logistics, but I'm always about trying to help others, even though I use a lot of help myself. I'm not perfect. Never have been, never will be until make it across those heavenly shores. We've been here a few days, and that's the first time I'm hearing what sounds like an ice cream truck. Okay, playing a lullaby? What the heck? That's on another vehicle earlier that was like an ice cream truck, but it didn't have music going. But playing a lullaby on an ice cream truck? Oh my. Pop Goes the Weasel's better. Oh my. Yeah, send the babies to bed, run out for the adults to run out to go and get ice cream. And that may be a hidden code, I don't know. But they're not really selling ice cream. Or they're selling ice cream for adults. That might involve some of those gummies that Angry Bat likes. I don't know. That'd probably be pretty interesting to pull off when you think about it. Didn't end well for Big Big Worm and the Friday movie, which of course that was messed up. You got a bunch of sailors out to sea, and you're gonna put on a movie like that on the ship. On an I mean, yeah, it's what the Armed Forces Media or whatever was media group was given, but I mean, seriously. And then the first thing they have to do when a port of call was over with was the infamous whiz quizzes, random whiz quizzes, make sure everybody was okay. I mean, come on. Make it make sense, people. Took 5,000 sailors on his ship, and 200 to 500 are are able to watch, take the time and go watch a movie to try and chill after shift or whatever. And yeah, that's 2 to 500 at a time are watching Friday after next Friday. You got knocked up. Oh, big perm. Anyways. I'm not one, and if you need it to help with your mental health and or pain, I understand. Just keep it away from me. That's all I ask. That's if it's in the legal area. If it's not legal in the area, please don't do it at all. But yeah, maybe, yeah, I did say please. No scripture at this time. Okay. I've hit the 2-hour mark. Thank you for dropping in. Flying Auditor just dropped a video on his channel. Don't know what it's about yet, so like I said, I got notified that right through through the Discord. So check out the links and the about or community, whatever the bio, however they consider that, what do you want to call it? And hopefully my next, well, unless I'm a guest somewhere, guest on someone else's stream. Hopefully my next live stream will have a lot of good news, or at least some really, really good news. Shalom, which is peace, everlasting peace, peace that passes all understanding. And I'll be catching Veteran Nations live here in about an hour. And be blessed in the name of Jesus Christ, my Lord.